So I'm in the middle of watching Kaiju number 8, and I don't know if you guys have seen the anime. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty good. The animation really carries it a lot because the story to me is not pulling me in yet, but it's interesting enough for me to watch it. And again, I like the animation. It's pretty fire. But I have no one to talk to about this, and I just couldn't get out of my head. But this character right here, Kikoru, she is supposed to be like the most badass, strongest of the kaiju killers. She is extremely powerful. She is really rich, really entitled, trying to make her father happy or proud of her. And she's just really arrogant and kind of like a dick to everybody. And yeah, so she, again, really cool, really powerful, really cool character. I think the design is fantastic. And she kills a lot of kaiju in this. But tell me why this girl reminds me of Tatsumaki or Green Tornado from One Punch Man. And I'm telling you that she reminds me of this character, but not because of the size. They're both slender, small females. No, that's not the reason she reminds me of her. She reminds me of her because of the way she fits in the story. Like that's probably the best way I can describe it. It's the way that she fits into the story. That and then the difference in that way is something that's really interesting to me. So follow along with me, because if you put these two characters versus each other, I mean, Tatsumaki wins. She's an empath. She's a psychic. She's one of the strongest heroes, and that's basically her whole thing. She's super arrogant, one of the strongest heroes, and can destroy anything. Basically, she's that powerful, right? And that's basically been her storyline. I've only seen the 2 seasons of One Punch Man, so I have not seen the manga. I do not know anything more about her, but they're just right there. It's kind of similar, but not really. It's the way that she fits into the story and the way that Kikoru fits in the story that, to me, I'm like wondering which one is better, right? So here is the thing. They're both the strongest, but they get outclassed by somebody that they deem to be weaker, right? And that is Kikoru. She gets beaten by Kaiju number 8 on her squad, and she's been saying he's an old man and blah blah blah, and he can't do this, and she's the strongest, and he's also the weakest one throughout all the training and stuff. So it's just a complete opposite, right? And with Tatsumaki, she just doesn't believe that One Punch Man or Saitama is that powerful. She doesn't believe that he has that strength to him, right? Like, she just doesn't believe anything. And that's again, we're going into the similarities, right? So these are two very similar dynamics and relationships. Where it differs is where I want to ask you guys if which one is better. And again, I'm talking about fighting versus, I'm not talking about design. Although personally for me, I think the design for Kikoru in Kaiju number 8 is a little bit better because I like the armor that she's wearing. But again, I do think that Tatsumaki would kill her easily because she's just a psychic. But going by the way they fit in the story, very similar, with one change. Spoilers if you have not seen Kaiju number 8. But the one change is that Kikoru finds out that who Kaiju number 8 is and how powerful he is 3 episodes in, 2 episodes in, very early on. She finds out that this guy has a secret and that he's super powerful, and then she is willing to hold his secret and not do anything against him and basically be part of his team or whatever the case is, right? It kind of brings her into the fold because he actually rescues her, and she now knows his secret, right? She knows that he is also a kaiju, so she can't just let him be. Right now she's part of the group and she's part of that team. Tatsumaki, as far as I've seen in both seasons of One Punch Man, I don't know if it changes later on down the line, she does not know how strong Saitama is. And so she has no connection to Saitama, besides the random events when she pops up and then she throws him with psychic energy, or she doesn't believe that she doesn't know who destroyed this person. She'll come to a place and she's this monster was destroyed. Who did it? And who could have done it? It's the same thing that happened at the end when Saitama killed Boros. She comes in and she has no idea who he is, and it's kind of like a funny gag because she can't believe that Saitama, is like that. So here is where another similarity comes into play, because both of them have this underlying tension of romantic tension. And I've seen the episodes, and it's kind of strange for me with Kaiju number 8 because, I mean, they keep saying, even though I know that Kikoru, she's like in her 20s, they just keep making fun of the fact that the Kaiju number 8 guy, I don't even know his name, he's like 35 plus. So like they keep making fun of that fact that he's old as dirt. But they keep doing this underlying, ever since she's found out, they keep doing this underlying like will they won't they type of situation with them. And it's like this romantic underlining, and it's all based on the fact that she knows that he is Kaiju number 8, and she knows that he has his power, right? And that he saved her. When you go to One Punch Man, we don't see that at all in the anime at all. There is no mention of that at all. There's no subtext. There's no underlying anything, right? But I've seen spoilers, and spoiler alert, in the manga, there are certain moments where Saitama saves Tatsumaki, and then there's like this little weird, like little tiny underlying, like, you know, cutesy type of thing going on there. So at the end of all this, I want to ask you guys, which one is better? This elite hero that finds out that the underdog has this huge power, which one's better? Her finding out about it early, or her never finding out at all? That is kind of like, I know it's kind of confusing. It took a lot for me to get to this point, but I couldn't get out of my mind. Which one is better? Her knowing early, and you know, and she's and everything that goes along with that, or her not knowing at all? Because I don't think she finds out, like Tatsumaki, I don't think in One Punch Man she finds out at all that he is that powerful. At least not outright. At least not from what I've seen and what have been spoiled to me. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I'm genuinely curious if anybody has even picked up on the similarities here.